ジャギ様から盗み取った北斗神拳、とくと味合わせてやるわ。
Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Midway and I hope you're doing alright today. I want to let you know that only about 13% of you are all subscribed to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you could go ahead and click that sub button. It really goes a long way on me being able to build the channel up, and I really hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get into it. Alright guys, what's up? Let's go and get this bolt. This is the first week of Season 4. I'm gonna be starting on my Paladin, gonna be looking at what we got here. And we're gonna also go to my Priest and to my Shaman, but let's just get into it, opening up the first vault of Season 4. I just realized I do have Holy Loot Spec, that's good. Okay. So I did not clear 2 bosses on Mythic, so this loot is Heroic level. This is interesting though. That is interesting. A 291 Tuft. Everything else. What is this trinket? Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Okay, that is garbage. That is garbage. We could always turn anything into a tier piece. This doesn't have any secondary stats. However, this is a decent upgrade. We would get anything on Mythic item level eventually, so this is like not groundbreaking. The Tuft is though, because getting specific items like trinkets is not that easy. I would have to go back to Sunking, and even if it's heroic, you know, this is huge already. I could always just upgrade this with dinars or whatever the item for upgrading the gear is called, the ciphers. So let's run this through questionably epic. Let's just do a quick simcraft of this. So if you do simcraft while you have the bolt opened, then you can go to questionablyepic.com, go questionableepic live. Then you are gonna have to insert your simcraft profile. I have selected the wrong character. I gotta switch to my own Paladin. Trainer EU, it's a Holy Paladin, it's a Blood Elf, and it's usually Necrolord. Okay, we got that. Import the profile, submit. Okay, there we go. So we gotta go to Top Gear, I guess, and let's just go to quick item compare. This is another, yeah, here we could just see the overall scores. Let me put this over here so you can see it properly. But so what we got is the shoulders. This that's like a blue outline is the item that's from the bolt. The rest is the gear that I have already in my inventory. So it is really hard to say. I mean, a Tuft is just much more of a thing that's gonna be hard to come by, and I would definitely like to use that in Mythic Plus. However, for raw stats, I would always pick the shoulders here. They're just gonna be the biggest upgrade overall. The chest, it's gonna be a big upgrade for Mythic Plus, but on raids, I'm gonna be running Marats, and since the item level of Marats, you know, you can't really remove Marats from there, given the legendary placements. I wouldn't be able to use these chests for raiding. So it would be good for Mythic Plus, but overall I think the best upgrade would just be the shoulders, because it would be both something that I can use right off the bat for Mythic Plus and for raids. Now anything else that we got, the belt, the slow item level, the trinket, this one is very bad. This trinket is what I was really interested in looking at. It's just a bunch of haste for 20 seconds, which would go very well with wings if wings wasn't something that you have like 24/7 nowadays. If this was something like, if we didn't have the 4 set, or yeah, pretty much if we didn't have the 4 set, this would be much more useful, because you could always use this together with wings. However, as it stands, this is just like a random haste gain. You don't really pair it with much. The value of it is good, but definitely there's better options, as you can see. So this is just not something I would pick. But I think I'm going to be picking the Tuft, honestly. I think the Tuft is definitely a massive upgrade. I would definitely use this for Mythic Plus. And yeah, I mean, I could just get the shoulders in any other mythic boss from a raid or so. yeah, we could always transform that gear that we get into a tier piece, and any chest piece or any shoulder piece that we get in any mythic boss from any of the raids is always going to be an upgrade in that sense. So this is just going to be much harder to come by, and therefore I think I would definitely like to have this instead. Yeah, I was gonna pick this. Now I really want to see what would I be replacing on my Mythic Plus gear. So this right now, I don't really have a Mythic Plus set or a rating set. I just have a bunch of gear that's high item level, and I'm just guessing I would replace Changeling, honestly. I don't really know. Let me go back to question of the epic. Now here there is. I was also in dungeon, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. There is a trinket compare chart. Oh my god. They did add the value of the damage from Resonant Reservoir. But there is this chart where you get like a comparison between the different trinkets and how useful they are for... I can't really zoom in, but how useful they are for Mythic Plus. Yeah, I can't really zoom in much more, but I hope you can see it clearly. I can make it a little bit bigger as well. But it's showing Resonant Reservoir as the best trinket you could get for dungeons. It says up here, I'm selecting dungeons. And then you could have a breakdown of the other options. You could see here, Changeling would be somewhere below, if I'm not blind. Am I blind? Oh, it's not even being considered because it's not on the loot table. No, it is here. So Changeling at the max item level of 278 would be worse than Solias at 298. That's the max we can get. So 298. Solias would be better than 278. Changeling 207 versus 217. So yeah, the Changeling's gotta go. It's just gotta go. It's not even better than what I have right now. So yeah, I'm basically just getting rid of Changeling, and I'm gonna be using the Tuft over there. Ideally, what I would be doing though would probably be to just, of course, having Resonant Reservoir. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Whenever I can buy the items from the vendors, I'll be buying Resonant Reservoir the first thing, then upgrading it to Mythic item level, and then I would see if I can get myself a better Tuft or maybe an Hymnal. Not sure which one's gonna be the king for Mythic Plus. Probably the Tuft, honestly. Dreadfire Vessel. I don't even remember where this comes from, but I doubt the pure just damage is going to be outshining the utility of a Tuft. So I think having Tuft here is actually a massive upgrade, a blessing for sure, and I'm definitely very happy with it. So yeah, now let's move on to my Priest. One thing that I do want to clarify is that if I was looking at the raid tab up here in Question of the Epic, the value of Changeling would indeed be higher than the value of Tuft. That is because on a rating setting, everything is different, and therefore raw healing and raw stats with a high uptime are much more valuable. When you go to the dungeon tab, there seems to be a much more handcrafted value on these items. Of course, Resonant Reservoir is just pure damage, and therefore the value of it is impossible to be comparable to other trinkets that just provide raw stats, which would otherwise increase your healing and not so much your damage, or maybe both. But yeah, it's a little bit of a handcrafted sort of ranking in some ways, not in some others. Here you can see that if you were just to purely care about rating, you would want to go for the Shadow Orb instead of for the Resonant Reservoir. That's probably what I would then buy with my dinars, the first thing. And there is other cool stuff, but yeah, that would probably be the first thing that I would go and grab. Now, let's move on to my Priest, which I did do a full heroic clear with, and I did do one single weekly. So we're not going to have that many options, but still quite some stuff to look at. So what's going to be? Okay. Now this trinket is absolutely terrible. You don't want to pick that ever. Crit burst, low item level. At this point, we wouldn't consider anything up here, and we would just go for simply item level. That is a huge upgrade, but at this point, yeah, you can turn anything into a different set of stats with the catalyst. Higher item level versus just other lower item level items. It's just going to be winning, as well as the fact that I can turn this into a tier piece. And this is like the only tier piece that I'm missing right now. I think I have all other 4 tier pieces, so I could get that and then switch and match stuff as I want to. But this is most definitely what I'm going to be picking. I'm probably going to be seeing what the stats are if I turn it into a tier piece, but otherwise, yeah, I'll just be picking that, and that's a huge upgrade for that definitely for this character. Now let's move on to my Shaman. As we go over to the vault, I was thinking Resonant Reservoir and Plume both at the same time might be a bit clunky for Mythic Plus, given that it's a double on-use trinket, so whenever you use one, the other one's gonna have a 30-second cooldown. Not sure if that would be the ideal combo, honestly. The idea of a Plume is to be a reactive way of preventing somebody from dying, and that kind of defies the point. But here we only have one option, not too exciting. We take what we get, and it's definitely an upgrade. We're gonna be turning this into Catalyst for some good stats. But I only did one single Mythic Plus run on this character, just to try and keep it up with the rest. But I didn't even do a Mythic, or rather a full raid clear, so nothing too exciting there, just a little bit of a stat upgrade. Do I even have enough Cosmic Flux? I kind of don't, so I have to farm a little bit of that to turn this into a tier piece. I'm going to be doing that right now. But that's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you find it useful, my little thought process onto the loot picking, especially for Holy Paladin. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.